everyone, welcome back to QSR Nation, your weekly source of food service marketing and business strategies for success. Here are your hosts, Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in Holt Summit, Missouri.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of QSR Nation. Why do you always laugh when I say that? As always, we have Josh, Beth, Tony, and Grant coming to you today from the PFS Brands National Headquarters in blustery Holt Summit, Missouri. Frigid. That's a good word, too. Talk about food service marketing and business strategies for success. Today, friend Beth, also one of the podcast co-hosts, came up with a topic today.
First time in
I know.
like 2 years.
This is going to be an open discussion, kind of like the last time. And this comes from Dawet, DAWETT.ca. That is a website. And it is the 6 qualities that make a great restaurant. This is a good topic, Beth.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So, do you want to kind of take over, or do you want me to lead this discussion?
I really appreciate whenever you lead the discussion.
Okay. So
you ask some very good questions.
If you guys had to guess, what would be your number one quality for leading a restaurant?
Good food.
Oh, wow.
I would say exceptional service and ambiance.
I would think with the
Actually used one
restaurant,
of
I
those
would say food.
Well, it's number one for this is Tony was close. So I actually used the word ambiance, and then number 3, it's restaurant ambiance. So and I probably would have said serving high quality food, just like number 1, because it's probably right. Okay, so
Wait, so what was number 1?
number 1. Should I read these off and then kind of go through them, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's read them off and then go through.
Okay, number 1, serving high quality food. Ding
Yes,
ding.
bingo.
Number 2, the dining experience. Number 3, the restaurant ambiance.
For the fancy ones.
France. Number 4, restaurant cleanliness. Number 5, something unique. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And number 6, the price factor. So what are y'all's thoughts?
Amazing to me that the price factor is number 6.
Yeah, I guess. Go ahead.
I was going to say.
Well, I was just going to say, I guess it really depends on the mindset of the person going to said restaurant. Because if I'm going fast food, price is more important.
Exactly,
but then if
yeah.
I go to, if I get real fancy and take the old lady out, like Long John Silver's, it's like about the
Shout out to
ambiance.
Long John Silver.
And old ladies everywhere.
I will let your wife know.
Good, because she doesn't listen. So what were you going to say, Tony?
Well, I was going to say that, if we're going out to dinner, a lot of times, I'm immediately thinking, when I'm thinking, of the restaurant industry and going out to dinner, I'm not thinking fast food. Even though, as he dies over there. We're going out.
Who's going to facilitate the conversation
Yeah,
now?
I know. He's just going to choke to death over here. Okay.
You dead one?
I'm good. We're good. Sorry.
When I think when we're going out, I want something that's going to be, entertaining and fun, and I'm looking for the value, because when I take my kids out, because I've got 75 of them, it costs.
Oh, wow.
It costs a lot.
It went down.
Yeah, some moved.
Did
out.
you lose a couple?
Some moved out. No, just that it costs a lot of money, so I want a great value for my experience, and I want to spend time there and have fun, and just so to me the experience is all about it, because food consistency is important. I like to know that every time I go somewhere it's going to be the same, but I have paid more for a lesser quality food plating than I have for the experience, because that's part of the package when you bring that the experience, the ambiance, the food quality, all of it to me is very, very, very much important, because I was gonna say value proposition, but it exudes it. I can't even talk today. It builds the value there.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I think Joe's Crab Shack's a good example. The food is good, but you pay more just for the whole experience of the whole thing.
I would say the experience part, that's like trending up big time too over the last couple of years, and I'd imagine it's going to keep trending upward with the fast casual growth and all that we see there. It's just the experience is what people are starting to look for more and more.
Well, and I think that's been in sectors for a while, but it hasn't been as prominent now, because with social media, people want to share those experiences, and so the experience has more innate value, because they're now putting, this is what I'm doing, where I'm going, I'm having a great time, and all that is getting populated out in social media. But there's a place out in Denver, and I'll get, I'm sure, emails about this, but the food is not that great. It's Casa Bonita out in Denver.
Wow, just name a name.
And yeah. So I mean, no, I'm just saying that's just what it is. To me, my personal opinion, the food's not that great. But I have no problem every time we go home and we're there going out to visit it because the experience is great. My kids love it. They got people dressed up in gorilla suits chasing, like zookeepers around, like the gorillas escaped, and they got cliff divers, and they're swinging across vines, and mariachi bands, and arcades, and they've got little tunnels, and the kids can go through like a haunted mines or something like that. There's all these different things going on all inside this restaurant. It's amazing for the experience, and the lines are all the way out the door sometimes, and it takes forever to get through because it's so popular. Again, to me, food's not the highest quality, but my kids love it, and even the older kids that are adults in their 20s now, they still like to go there because of the experience that they had as younger kids visiting there, and they just absolutely are tied to the experience. And it's not cheap.
Well,
Pay
yeah,
for that
people are willing to pay more for a good experience now, more so than in the past. So
Exactly. Well, and think about all the different experiences that you have now. You mentioned social media, but with the Food Network and all those different challenges of almost every restaurant has the opportunity to have that one unique characteristic that everyone's looking for, whether it's the world's largest pork tenderloin sandwich or it's just going to be something that's going to be very unique to your sector of your restaurant area. And so always make sure that you have that opportunity to go in there and have something to publish of, whether it's like who can eat this 5-pound burrito or whatever it is.
Ooh, I'm down.
Oh,
sounds good.
Lord. But, it's just like having that experience in there that everyone can go in there. They have something to talk about. Your wait staff always has something to try and, generate more business on because they're trying to say, hey, have you experienced a 5-pound burrito or whatever it is? Just making sure that there's something that you can promote nonstop on social media. Also, too, to pick up the trending activities whenever it comes to the Food Network. And maybe you can even have, what is his name? Guy Ferraro.
Man vs. Food?
Man vs. Food.
I was going to say that reminds me of Man vs. Food.
Yeah, Man vs. Food. Visit your area. I mean, my cousins that we actually had on the podcast, Northwoods, they had their food cart in Portland, Oregon. They had the Food Network come, and they have food trucks across America. That show come and visit them just because of their unique food styles that they have. And who would have thought a little tiny food truck in the middle of Oregon would have had something like that?
I thought it was Wild North.
Wild North. Sorry,
What did you say?
Brandon and Amelia. I'm very sorry. Wow.
Hey, don't edit that out. That'll be fun.
Apologize. Wild North. You can visit their website, wildnorth.com.
They have great bread bowls. I've never had them, but they look
They
good.
look awesome.
He also has a campfire s'more cookie thing that he
Stop.
makes. I know, it's incredible.
So yummy.
Holiday treats.
So, Fuji also, we have the Fuji Japanese steakhouse here, and, that it's, ambiance and experience really is what drives that, because, sitting around, having the chef, make the food right there, flipping it to people, into their mouth or onto their plate, or in the eye, I think is what Beth's experience was. You got hit with an egg or something? Or was it?
No.
I don't know, I'm just
Is that
making
the one
that up.
with the onion ring volcano thing?
Yes.
Oh yeah, they do the
that's
they do the
cool.
volcano.
Yeah, so I mean, again, it's just
Fire
about
hazard.
the experience and having fun. And I think in today's world, that holds more value than the price point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's probably why we see that ranked at the bottom of those options there.
So what is one restaurant? Sorry, I just kind of stole that line from you. What is one restaurant that you think of when it comes to experience, other than your Casa Bonita, whatever it was, that you think drives the most business that you know of, just based on the experience? Grant.
I'm just thinking about the whole fast casual industry, kind of in general, but so Chipotle and Mod Pizza both, especially Mod Pizza. It's just when I first went there, it was unlike any other experience I had at a fast food restaurant, and they basically perfected really good pizza in the fast food industry, or in the fast food category. But you kind of go through like a Subway line and you pick your items and stuff, and they're all extremely excited. They do a great job with their employees being very excited and pumped up when people come in. Every time you walk in the door, they say, welcome to Mod or whatever. And it's also really cool because Mod is basically they go out and hire employees that basically give them second chances. Some that have had grown up in tough neighborhoods and stuff and may have ended up in jail or something, but I'm kind of going.
That's part of the experience.
going off on a
Is
tangent.
the story behind
Yeah.
Mod Pizza? Is
He's been working with Anthony too long.
Yeah, I know. But that's the story behind them, and I think that's a great example.
That's a great example, Grant.
Just because there's something else there that drives you. It kind of goes to the cause marketing ideas of why people want to go somewhere, whether it's organic food, whether it's a purpose driven.
It makes you feel good about going there, supporting that. So,
Josh, you have a restaurant?
No, I was gonna say Texas Roadhouse is another good one. I just really like that one.
We're getting ready to get one
Coming
open
soon to
in
Jefferson
Jeff
City.
City.
The 18th,
We're
right?
super
November
excited.
18.
Yeah. So I always think about Lambert's, the restaurant,
Home
home of the throw rolls,
rolls.
because it's so good. And oh my gosh, like it's just like regular like home style cooking, but those rolls.
But
man.
they go outside of the etiquette side of restaurant dining where they just throw the rolls at you, which is
Exactly,
kinda
it's
unique.
so much fun though.
So that hits more the something unique factor, right? Number 5
Exactly.
on the list.
Yeah.
Dang,
See,
you got the list memorized. Good
I
job.
know.
I'm looking
good
over it. I'm
job.
peeking over at Josh's list.
I think if I was looking at like in a chain situation, I think like Olive Garden, just because those endless.
Breadsticks.
I've never been to Olive Garden.
Goodness.
Oh my!
What?
You're going for
You're
lunch.
so uncultured.
You're off the podcast.
But I mean, I think
That's all
that
it
from a
took.
chain standpoint, just because of the fact that the way they bring the food to the table, the way the salads, there. I mean, the constant service is very, very high. We'll make sure they're very attentive to you at all times, mainly because they know you're going to ask for those breadsticks. But
Seriously, Grant, you've never been to the Olive Garden? The
No,
Olive
there's
Garden?
not. There's not. I don't know if you know this,
The
but there's
Olive
not
Garden.
one in Jefferson City. So
You can travel
There never will be.
35 minutes down the road to Columbia.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, live a little.
The Olive Garden. Well, looks like we're having a podcast outing.
Beth, maybe you can take me out to dinner there sometime.
It's like
Grant's
the Ohio
fine.
State of football. You don't say Olive Garden, you say the
Olive
Garden.
Garden.
But as far as independence, locally, I absolutely love the service levels like from Madison's. And I think anytime someone comes to Jefferson City, I've had friends come in from out of town, from out from Denver, come in. Where I said, let me take you to Madison's, because it's a great
He's
place.
never offered to take us to Madison's.
I mean,
Wow.
I said when my friends come in, and
Oh. You haven't even taken Josh. And he is your friend.
you don't know that.
Oh.
we go quite often actually.
Every week, huh?
Yeah. So of these 6 traits, a lot of these, especially if you're a franchise, you don't really have a whole lot of control over it. Like you're the food, you don't really get to decide on all those foods, the unique products and things like that. But restaurant cleanliness is obviously something you have a very big hand in. So I mean that is always something to always be on top of if you want to obviously have a better dining experience for anybody.
And that's obviously one of those characteristics that you don't want to ever have. Like, that's not something you're going to, like, publicize. And honestly, as long as you have...
never hear about it.
Yeah, no news is good news when it comes to that front. Just making sure that you always ensure that it's a great quality experience for the customer. So it's not something that you just want to be like, we have a clean restaurant, because everyone should have that.
Yeah, that's a cornerstone. Just got to have it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, anything else before we hit up the Olive Garden?
Well, I mean, not really. I think that we
They do
covered
have their
a lot of
endless
good
pasta
stuff.
bowl happening right now. Not that I've seen that on the commercial.
All right. Well, if you please subscribe to the podcast and follow us at pfsbrands.com/podcast. Email us any questions you have at qsrnation@pfsbrands.com.
You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, and be sure to let us know which restaurant that you think has the best experience.
Yeah, it's a good call. And we're also taking up a donation for our frigid studio. It's like 5 degrees in here
Yeah.
right now, and I can't. My nose is running. 'cause
Or
it's
as
so cold.
our team from Minnesota would say, it's shorts weather.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We get no sympatody from our friends in the north. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
that's true.
nothing.
Well, for your team here at QSR Nation, we'll talk to you next week.
Today's episode is brought to you by Champs Chicken. For deals, discounts, and updates, check out champschicken.com/connect. Be sure to stop by next week for another episode of QSR Nation. And be sure to check us out online at pfsbrands.com/podcast.